Okay, this is going to be a basic demo of the Adoration Servants Adoration Chapel Management System, which you can get at from the Adoration Servants homepage by the login link right here. So I'm going to go ahead and go there. You'll notice it comes up at a secure website where you have to enter your user ID and password. I have set up a temporary demo chapel, and I'm going to go ahead and sign on as Peter Julian Amard, who is our chapel leader at this chapel. Put in the user ID and his password. Submit that, and oh man. Okay, so there's a little bit of a flaw. You have to enter your password incorrectly. So now I'm set up as the chapel. I'm signed on here as the chapel administrator for the demo Adoration Chapel. The first thing that comes up is the headquarters page, and the main part of the headquarters page is your chart of adoration. So this would basically be showing you a 24/7 chart of hours. We have midnight to 11 p.m. going across the top, and Sunday through Saturday going across the bottom. Each square represents the number of adorers that are scheduled for any given hour that is set up to be scheduled for, and the green, yellow, and red are maintainable based on how you want to show warnings. And basically the yellow means that there's some attention needs to be paid. In this case, it's currently set up that we have a probability of nobody showing up at that hour between 2 and 5%. And if there's a greater than 5% probability that the adorers won't show up, then it'll be red. So for example, here you see Monday at 10 p.m. Even though we have 2 adorers, it's red. And so if I go ahead and click on that, I see that Andrew the Apostle and Simon the Cross-Bearer are both scheduled adorers there. And based on their past attendance for the last 3 months or so, Andrew the Apostle has only been coming 82% of the time. He's been scheduled 17 times and made it 14 days, so he missed 3 days. And Simon the Cross-Bearer only has a 64% attendance, so you can see that he's scheduled for the 17 past Mondays at 10 p.m., but only made it 11. So based on the math, the probability is 6% that they will both not show up at the same time, which we consider in this particular chapel as unacceptable, and so we make it red. Now this also brings up some of the information here. Now you'll notice that in this demo there's just a bunch of dummy telephone numbers and addresses and emails, but obviously at another chapel that would be valid information. Now as I mentioned, I clicked on the Monday 10 p.m., but I can click on other hours as well. So I could click on, for example, the Thursday 2 p.m. or Thursday 1 p.m. to see what's going on there. And I'll see that Lucy Narni and the Martyrs of Prague are scheduled, but they both have 81 and 82% of attendance percent, so there's a 3% probability that they'll be vacant. So you can see it gives you a good idea of the health of your chapel. You can also look at all the hours at the same time. So if I click at 11 a.m., then it brings me up here all of the adorers for that chapel and all their percentages. So you could see that we have here, and in our demo chapel we basically named our adorers after saints. You could also go through the whole day, so I can come here and I can click on Wednesday. So let's say, for example, that Thanksgiving, which recently passed, but let's say Christmas. Let's say that Christmas, which is on a Tuesday this year in a couple weeks, we could actually come here to Tuesday, click on Tuesday. we have all the adorers now, and we also have all the adorers with the email. I could actually click on this email section here, and what will happen is it will bring me up to our email system, and all of the adorers with emails will show up here. Now, you don't see as many as you saw because I only have Demo 3, Demo 2, Demo 1, and if multiple adorers are set up with the same email, then we will not send them multiple emails. We'll only send the first one. There is also pretty extensive help text available that explains how this works. It goes through numbers and explanations here, as you can see, of the various things that we're going over here. This is the email. It shows you all the different options that you have available. So for those of you who like help text and actually want to read it, it's available to you. Those of you who like help text only when it's not there, know that it's there so you don't have to read it. So now if I come back here, and I can actually go ahead, for example, here, and I could say, let's say, for example, no exposition Christmas. And then I'm going to, since this is actually not going out to all the adorers, only to the Tuesday adorers, I'm just going to say, on Christmas, we will not have exposition. You need not attend your scheduled hour, blah, blah, blah. So I could send that just to myself as a test, or I can submit it to everybody. And since it's only going to go to a few people, which are actually all me, that went ahead and sent, and you can see that who they got sent to. And you'll notice I'll bring up this email here, and this is one of the emails that just came up, and it says, hey, Max Colby, on Christmas we will not have exposition, you need not attend. So the emailing is here to work things out with all your adorers. Now, other things to go over here, there's also a chapel maintenance screen, and this is currently set up as a typical 24/7 chapel, which would not be having adoration during Mass time. So let's say that this chapel has a 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. Mass, so there's no exposition there, and they also have a noon Mass and a 7 p.m. Mass every day. So that's why those are not showed up. But let's just say that we're going to also make them just a Monday through Friday chapel, because you can see that this chapel doesn't have any adorers on Saturday and Sunday right now. So I can come into the chapel maintenance, and here's where we schedule all the adoration for each hour. So I'm going to just, for all of Sunday, I'm just going to click through all 24 of the hours for Sunday, setting them to no. And actually I'll just do Sunday because you'll get the point with this. So then I'm going to hit go, and now if I return, what we should see, hopefully, is that you now see that Sunday has been grayed out because we don't have the adoration scheduled. So you can tailor this however you see fit. Now, let's say, for example, that you don't really like the fact that we color code this, and you want to be more lenient. So also in the chapel maintenance, you can come over here and you can set the warning percentages, low and high limit, which we had to 2 and 5. We'll go ahead and we'll set that to 20 and 50. And so when I do that, when I return, you'll see that most of the green, most of the red and yellow is gone. So here you see we still have a few. We have this 10 p.m. is still red. Why? Because there's a 6%. got 20 to 5%. I must have did something wrong. Let's go check that. Oh, I did. I hit the wrong one. So come back here, go 50%, 20 to 50%, and submit. Now when I come back, I see that everybody's green except for a very few. So we have this one is 4, which means that their probability of vacancy is 23%, so they fall into the yellow here. And now also these guys, even though you'll notice that these middle of the night people are 100%, we currently have this chapel set up where if there's not at least 2 adorers, it's going to be yellow. Most chapels would like more than 1 adorer. That also is settable in the chapel maintenance, and that's the partner test, I think. Hardly do I ever use that. Then we come back here. Well, okay, that's still there, but you get the idea here that of how we can set this up and tailor this depending on what we want to do. Now, let's say that let's take a look here at Thursday, 1 a.m. and see who the adorers are. And you'll see that St. Louis de Montfort is the adorer at 1 a.m. and at 2 a.m. So, one of the things that this chapel system will do is it will notify the adorers what's going on around them. So if I'm St. Louis de Montfort at 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., I very much hope that the Martyrs of North America and the Martyrs of Wales are going to show up at 3 a.m. So in the Maintain Adorers, if I come over here and I search on Wales, for example, so here's the Martyrs of Wales, and you see they're at Thursday, 3 p.m. If I click on this and delete, I'm now going to take them off the schedule. And then I'm also going to do North America, the Martyrs of North America, and I'm going to take them off the schedule. Delete them. Okay, so now to let you know, St. Louis de Montfort actually is set up to get my email. He uses my email address because he's the patron saint of my confirmation. And so you'll notice that I got an email from the system saying that the Martyrs for North America schedule has been changed and they're no longer scheduled for 3 a.m. And I also got another one, the Martyrs of Wales has been changed for Thursday at 3 a.m. So now I know that those people are not scheduled, and I can expect to wonder what's going to happen now that there's nobody at 3 a.m. And you see here that the 3 a.m. hour is 0. So what we can do is also use the email system for sending out sub requests, and that can be done a number of ways. Like, for example, let's say that I'm going to just come back to the chapel maintenance, and let's just go to St. Louis de Montfort and click on him, and I'm going to say that let's say St. Louis de Montfort is going to go on a pilgrimage. So he's going to be gone for the next couple weeks. So we can do an email sub, and we could say that he's going to be gone on the 13th, on the 13th of Thursday, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., the 18th, 2 a.m., which is his other hour. And he's going to basically, we're going to say that he's going to be gone all the way to the first of the year. And then we can put in here subs needed for these dates. Please reply if you can sub for these hours. Now, because we use this, those sub emails are actually going to list all the days. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. You can see that that got sent. And now we have emails coming in. And here's one saying an adorer needs a sub for the following hours, and it shows you all these. Please reply if you can sub for these hours. And you can do a little bit of formatting, like if I would have done some formatting and would have saw, okay, I should really put a space there and that type of thing. But so that you could see how the substitution works there. Few other things to show you. There is a number of ways to look at your adorers. You can, do this, and you can see all these. And then actually, if you were to, like I'm going to do all of Wednesday, for example, and if I was to do a file print preview on this, you would see that it comes up and it actually gives you all the information there, not just what you see on the screen, which is scrollable here. But there's also captain sheets, and the captain sheets are flexible, where these are meant for the hourly captains, which you can also set up hourly captains. So this is, we'll just change this and just look at midnight and 1 a.m. hours. So you see we just have the adorers at those hours each day that we have adoration. We can also say show their email if we'd like. We can show their addresses. We can show their phone numbers. Some of our chapel leaders are well into their 80s, and while I'm only in my early 50s, I think I still can appreciate having large print when I print this stuff out. You can also do page breaks so that it'll come up at each captain's list. There's also attendance. This could be used for setting up as attendance sheet, should you desire to make use of that like this, which would probably be something along the lines of this, with actually no phone number either, I would think, if you were going to use this as an attendance sheet. However, there's a more formal attendance sheet, and that one is called the sign-up sheets. And what will happen here is it will print out all of the adorers that you have, and this is meant to be put in the chapel so that they can then just check off their name if they made it. Now notice here that this is first name with last initial for security purposes, so it you don't see the last name, but you can use other formats on that. So if I went to the chapel maintenance, I can come in here and I can say, instead of the first name last initial, I could say make it the name first initial last name, and then if I submit that, come back to the sign-in sheets, and look at the sign-up sheets here, you see that it's now it doesn't show the first name. And some chapels don't want to let the gender to be seen, to see if there's just women at 5 in the morning or something along that lines. This system is also, again, password protected and secure. New users have to be approved to go in. You can also get more secure with the sign-in sheets. You could just do I didn't want to do that. I want to do chapel maintenance. You can go in here and you could change this to be just the user ID, so whatever they set up for their user ID, so they'd recognize that. You could do the full name, or you could do just the initials, which is a very nice way to do it, because nobody really can see who it is coming in, and the only person who really has to know is the person who's checking their name off. And so the sign-in sheets come up there. So we're running just about 20 minutes here, and so I think I'm going to sign off, and I will do another setup later. God bless you, and if you think we can help you, which I'm sure we can, please let us know.